Dominica will host the 13th meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations from May 5th to 6, 2010. Government's Press Secretary Sean Douglas says the meeting will be chaired by Minister for Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, Colin McIntyre.
In terms of the agenda over the 2 days, the discussions will include CARICOM's response to the Haitian catastrophe, the changing geopolitical dynamics in the hemisphere, post-Copenhagen, the climate change conference that took place in December last year, and policy responses, as well as challenges. There will also be discussion on relations with third countries and groups of countries. There will also be issues to do with multilateral and hemispheric relations, to include the United Nations, the OAS, the Association of Caribbean States, and the Human Rights Council. There will also be discussion on issues relating to community relations, to include discussion on the role of civil society in the Caribbean Community Project, and the proposed meeting of the Assembly of Caribbean Community Parliamentarians, ACCP, set for Port of Spain, Trinidad in July of this year. There will also be discussion on the operations and functions of the COFCO. We expect about 40 delegates comprising ministers of government from each CARICOM member state and the CARICOM Secretariat for the 2-day meeting. The COFCO meeting is also expected to attract guests from a number of countries and institutions, including Australia, Portugal, and the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC. Dominica's hosting of the 13th meeting of the COFCO comes, as you know, only weeks after we hosted the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference just about a month and a half ago. This is a very important, I think this is the first time that we are hosting a meeting of foreign ministers of the Caribbean community, and we are looking forward very much to a very successful meeting in Dominica.
Government's Press Secretary Sean Douglas. Parliamentary representative for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John, is calling on all Dominicans to join the UWP in the fight for democracy. John made the call at the United Workers' Party press conference on Friday after the UWP continued its boycott of Parliament for a third consecutive sitting.
We're sending a message not only to the United Workers' Party, but to the entire country, that the United Workers' Party is doing its share to ensure that democracy is restored in our country. And we're asking every Dominican to join us, civic-minded Dominicans of all walks of life, to ensure that we join together to stop this madness, the erosion of our democracy. And if we allow Roosevelt's carrot and this government to do whatever they want in our country, we'll lose it. I know that some of you have read Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Machiavelli as well, and how people fight for the country, how they work hard to ensure that they have democracy in the country. And we are taking that fight today. We're starting today. You know, you'll have us, there are so many things that this government can deal with, but they went to the House, as Mr. James said on several occasions. You have, on average, 3 sittings of the House per year. Look, Curtis Matthew, good friend, has about 3 sittings in 3 months, Mr. Scary. And what does that say? Only one thing is about, is to ensure that they can try to get the United Workers' Party off and get all the seats and have one party state. We cannot allow that to happen as a country. We have the visa issue with the UK, that the St. Lucia government make it public to the people of St. Lucia what is the problem and how they're going to address it. The Prime Minister of Dominica has yet to do that. We have the agricultural situation right now, the drought. What is the in package you're going to give the farmers? How are you going to assist them to get back on their feet? The Prime Minister is not addressing that. They are the concerns of the people of Layu, where he lied openly to the people of Layu on the asphalt plant, and he's not doing anything about it, making any comments about it. We heard Mr. Jerry Brisbane this morning, and some of the comments he made read the tendering process. You know, and we continue to play lip service and give, as the fisherman would say, give the Prime Minister filage and let him go about his business. We can't allow that to continue as a country, and that is why we are very supportive of the move by Mr. Prevost to go to the House and take his oath, and to continue and to tighten the process of boycott, because we want to send a message not only to Dominicans but the region and the world.
Parliamentary representative for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John. The Mariga Development Corporation presented for the fourth year the Mayfest 2010. The 2010 Mayfest activities ran for a total of 4 days and nights, each being a very demanding but successful reflection of what the country's largest village festival was all about. For more on the activities, we join Service Coordinator, Tribal Services. The 2010 Mayfest activities ran for a total of 4 days and nights, each being a very demanding but successful reflection of what the new kid on the block is all about. Saturday, May 1st, 2010, the Marigat Queen Show Committee started off the event by putting a wonderful Mayfest Queen Show together. Miss Wendy Davis, at the end of the night, was crowned the Miss Mayfest 2010 among a field of 5 other lovely young ladies coming from the neighboring communities. In everything, one has to give thanks to God the Creator. The community of Marigat gathered at the Marigat Roman Catholic Church at an ecumenical service of thanksgiving, where a message packed with the legacy of hope for a difference, also the foresight of an impending change and the rejuvenation of the patriarchal system of society was delivered. The 2010 International Artists Night then began with a crowd-pleasing performance from the X Plus Band. The night took shape upon the arrival of reggae phenomenon Banky Banks, after which the moment for Crossfire had arrived. Crossfire, who was received earlier that day at the country's main airport, 10 minutes away from the venue, was ushered into the venue in formality, where their performance rocked many, if not all, patrons. The Mayfest activities continued from the venue with the Monday morning juve. Patrons were jam-locked to the songs of the national Lapo Cabits on the island of Dominica, and not only were they, but the members of the Crossfire band were of course extremely pleased with the songs of the Goatskin Lapo Cabit. Mayfest 2010 came to a successful ending on Monday night when the WCK band out of Roseau again played for the patrons of the Marigat area, coupled with a number of other DJs and artists who were down to perform at the Mayday Beach Bash event, which of course could not be held at the initial venue because of a landslide which blocked off the entrance to the area. For Tribal Services and the Marigat Development Corporation, I am Alvin Alexander for Kyrie News. We thank Tribal Services for filing that report. The Dominica Cancer Society says it is very pleased with the public response to its drive to reduce cancer among Dominicans, but they say that more needs to be done. Director of the Cancer Society, Father Franklin Coffey, says there needs to be a radical change in the diets of Dominicans in their fight against cancer on the island.
The Dominica Cancer Society are very, very happy with the response, to its appeal and the screening that have been taking place. Recently, the screening was done in Grand Bay and it was very, very successful. Yes, this new board is only recently came on board, but we want to recognize the work that have been done for the past 20 years. Of course, a number of concerned people got together in 1990. The society was registered in 1991 and there was a little null in between. But we want to take this opportunity on May the 12th. There will be a public meeting at Prevo Mall where we'll be inviting a number of survivors, a number of friends, a number of families of the survivors. And the one thing that concerns us very much is the fact that in 2008, 45 men died of prostate cancer. And we want to use this opportunity to help, our general population to be more sensitive. For instance, one of our local newspapers this week spoke about that using something as simple as soft drink puts one at high risk. So it's a matter of our lifestyle, of the food we eat, the significance and importance of exercising, and so on. The mayor is also calling for a walk against cancer this coming month end. So we are excited. 20 years is a long time, and we do believe that people are getting the message, but we do think that more needs to be done for a radical change in our lifestyle as a population, as a people. And unfortunately, we have a lot of fast food coming into our culture, and pretty soon we will not be able to boast of centenarians, among our population.